Hello and welcome to Studio A. It's a cherished First Amendment right, but it's being questioned these days. Some students still haven't moved into their apartments halfway through the fall semester. A rivalry between Texas State and a nearby I-35 neighbor is brewing, while another kind of sport is attracting wizards and muggles. I'm Christopher Carson. Joining me today are Elaine Rodriguez, Blaine Turner, Sage Holst, and Craig Hopkins. We'll have those stories and more coming up on Studio A. One of the bedrock values of the United States, freedom of speech, has been under assault lately. There have been many backlashes against NFL players who have taken a knee during the national anthem. And the University of California saw riots protesting the appearance of a right-wing agitator. That raises the question, is free speech actually free? Blaine Turner has the story.
Texas State University has a long history of free speech dating back to 1950 when the Fighting Stallions were donated to the school and the area around them was named the official free speech zone. In the center of campus, the Stallions draw all kinds of students who use the area to showcase their opinions. In some cases, outside groups use the area as well to gain influence on topics such as abortion and religion. Although the area is supposed to protect all viewpoints, speakers on college campuses find themselves not only challenged by students, but limited as well. A recent Brookings study on college campuses showed that 51% of students believed it was okay to limit speech they disagreed with by causing a disruption. 19% of students even believed in using violence to stop the speech. One student who regularly uses the free speech area at the Stallions says he's concerned about the study's findings.
Yeah, it did surprise me because, you don't typically hear people saying, oh, I'm going to use violence to stop the other side. Whenever you're just saying words, you shouldn't result to actual physical aggression.
While the general public has begun to recognize that words can have lasting, harmful effects, media law lecturer Abby Gray says that the tendency to equalize harm from words and harm from physical violence could be dangerous.
The problem is we need to get more nuanced in the way that we talk about the harm, right? Because if we equate harm from speech with harm from physical violence, we risk justifying the use of violence in response to speech. And historically, we've been really, really bad at deciding when violence is appropriate in response to speech, and it's usually it usually plays out in very unintended ways.
In many cases, a misunderstanding of the First Amendment contributes to the suppression of free speech. The same Brookings study asked students if the First Amendment protected hate speech. 44% answered no incorrectly, and 16% did not know the answer. The suppression of speech by the public, whether on the right or left side of the political spectrum, remains an issue all over the country. Hopefully, through experience and education, we may find a solution. For Studio A and for Emily Ramsey, I'm Blaine Turner.
Wait, Emily Ramsey? What are you talking about?
Surprise. Emily Ramsey actually did the reporting on this story, and at the last minute she fell ill and completely lost her voice, so I stepped in and did the voiceover for her.
Well, hopefully she gets better soon.
I think she's on the mend.
Good. Well, going off the story, would you say that violence is a form of free speech?
I don't think so. I don't think any court would say that violence is the same thing as free speech. I think where your right to free speech ends, where someone else's nose begins. So no, I don't think so.
That's true. Well, while most students are already thinking about going home for the holidays, some students are still trying to find a home. Studio A's Christopher Tondre has more on students displaced from an apartment complex in San Marcos called The Point.
Every August, the city of San Marcos sees an influx in residents as students move in for the beginning of the semester. For some, this means moving away from home for the first time and into dorms. For others, this may include moving into one of the many apartment complexes spread out across the city. Now, as the semester is well underway, students who signed at The Point still haven't been able to move in.
So I was supposed to move in August 15th. They delayed us August 27th, the day right before school. Then we got delayed to November 3rd, which was last Friday, and we weren't able to move in, and now they're delaying us till November 10th, which is this Friday. So There might be another delay. I'm not even getting my hopes up about moving in at this point.
When she signed the lease in the fall of 2016, Morales was told the apartments would be finished before the fall 2017 semester, and she would be able to move in August. Once August came, the apartments were still not finished, and she was told she would need to either stay in a hotel or find another place to live until construction was complete.
Yes, we've had some issues with construction and more recently with inspection oversights. However, we are working to compensate our tenants for the unexpected inconvenience that this has caused.
At this rate, Morales won't be able to move in until maybe spring 2018. As many students start to plan their living options for the next year already, the point serves as a cautionary tale for students looking to sign up places still under construction. For Studio A, I'm Christopher Tondre.
It's so sad to see all these students displaced, after signing their contracts well in advance. Like, it's just ridiculous that the apartment complexes are able to get away with this, even after so long.
Yeah, and I did hear that they did finally officially move in today, so that did happen, but it still is, like you said, unfortunate that after so long it finally happened, because when you don't have an official apartment or anything, maybe you're lucky to have a sibling that you can live with, or you're in a hotel, it's really hard to focus on your schoolwork when this is all happening, and it keeps happening. There's an apartment near me that's still being worked on, and students are supposed to move in there soon.
Yeah, well, I hope they get placed soon because, like you said, it can be a problem being displaced and having to study and whatnot. But students aren't the only ones planning to be home for the holidays. The San Marcos Animal Shelter is trying to get all sorts of furry friends out of the shelter, and they've got a great deal that's hard to resist. Anna Mingaloni reports.
The San Marcos Animal Shelter is gearing up for its annual Home for the Holidays campaign. Adoption rates are drastically being reduced in the hopes of providing a forever home to so many animals in need this holiday season.
The Home for the Holidays campaign is a campaign that we launch around the holiday season, which would be the beginning of October until January 2nd. It's a time where we do a lot of adoption specials to try and get as many animals home for the holidays as we can.
According to the San Marcos Animal Shelter, every year they see hundreds of misplaced or homeless pets. The Home for the Holidays campaign helps spread awareness as well as promote adoptions of these furry friends.
So October was Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and all of our adoptions were $20. This month, November, is Thankful for Cats Month, and all of our cat adoptions are $20. Every cat in the shelter is available for only $20.
And along with this fee includes the pet's spay or neuter, rabies vaccination, deworming, microchip, and heartworm test.
Next month, December, is Take Me Home Adoptions Month, and all of our pets are $20. It's a very exciting time of year. It's when we see a lot of adoptions happen quickly. Every day is like an exciting day of like, who's gonna get a home today? So it's really fun.
The San Marcos Regional Animal Shelter is located at 750 River Road. For more information about their Home for the Holidays campaign or to view any of their adoptable animals, feel free to check out their website. For Studio A, I'm Anna Mingaloni.
I hope to see all these animals going to a good home for the holidays. I think it's just going to be great for them to just finally get out of that shelter. So you did this story alongside Anna.
I did.
How was it? Like, could you tell me how hard it was not to take any of these animals with you?
Exactly. It was really difficult, honestly. All of the cats and dogs were just so loving and friendly. It was very tough, but I will say going into adoption, it is still, you have to be mindful of the commitment at hand. And so, as you know, the campaign is a great promotion for that, but it's still encouraged, think of the big picture of the years-long commitment of taking a friend home. But hopefully we see a lot more adoptions this year.
Definitely. I hope this campaign follows through. Well, it's been more than a year since Campus Carry became law. We'll revisit the issue. And a new class spotlights movies. And a student club takes to the skies. Those stories coming up on Studio A.
The Meadow Center for Water and the Environment provides unique, hands-on opportunities for San Marcos residents and tourists alike. Located on the living laboratory of Spring Lake, one of the largest artesian springs in the world, the center aims to direct the next generation of conservation leaders through community-driven management. Environmental exploration is provided through the Wetlands Boardwalk, glass-bottom boat tours, paddling and scuba diving, and the Discovery Hall. Guided tours are available to meet the specific learning levels of all age groups. Come see how you can help lead the way to ensuring clean, abundant water for the environment, your community, and all of humanity at the Meadow Center in San Marcos. Inform, preserve, inspire. For more information, visit our website at www.meadowcenter.txstate.edu.
In August of last year, the state legislature passed a law that allows people to carry guns on college campuses. After a year of experience with the law, feelings still run high. Craig Hopkins has the report.
It has been over a year since the campus carry law was passed, which allows concealed handguns to be carried at Texas State, and it still remains a hot-button issue among students and faculty. The issue being that not all students and faculty feel safe knowing that someone can be carrying a gun. Texas State student Caleb Cisneros carries a concealed handgun on campus, and I spoke with him regarding the campus carry law.
I learned of campus carry this summer, and I decided I'm going to carry a handgun. I might as well, take it with me, just for protection and peace of mind. I don't go out at night very often here at the university, but if I ever did choose to, I would like to have some kind of protection for both myself and my friends and third parties.
Caleb shared that he has been around guns for many years and he knows proper gun safety.
My grandfather, he used to own a ranch, so I'd always go out as a child, and we'd shoot guns. He'd teach me gun safety and all of that. So having a handgun on me hasn't really been much of a shock or anything. I'm just comfortable around them.
Caleb said that he feels the campus carry law has helped prevent people being held at gunpoint since the law was put into place.
I haven't seen any recent reports of assault at gunpoint here recently since the establishment of this campus carry. I don't know if that's a direct result, but to me it looks like it might have established some kind of deterrence. So I think it has been a benefit.
Lastly, I asked Caleb if he would make any changes to the campus carry law.
I feel like the current regulations right now are they're very good for keeping the safety and peace of mind of the student body.
Campus carry was put into effect at Texas State just over a year ago. Although there have been no major incidents reported, it still remains a controversial issue today. From Studio A, this is Craig Hopkins.
And just this week, a campus carry task force at Texas State recommended that guns be prohibited at campus testing centers, but that single-occupant offices not be made gun-free. Hearings on the recommendations will be held next week. So Craig, you did this story. How did it feel being around somebody who was carrying?
Honestly, Caleb was so cooperative. There wasn't a problem. Plus, as he said, he's been around guns all his life, so he knows the campus carry laws and how to carry them and all the safety. And even on the video, he did show the cable that holds it into place for safekeeping. Mm-hmm. So honestly, it was just so interesting to learn about all the laws and the safety regulations about the guns.
Interesting. Well, talking during a movie is a good way to get kicked out of the theater, but the Alkek Library has been hosting a series of film screenings where talking is the whole point. Blaine Turner tells us more.
Most students associate Texas State's Alkek Library with studying. But throughout the fall, the library has been the site of an ongoing series of movie screenings called Film Talks. The series functions a lot like an old-fashioned book club. Films are selected and screened, and those viewings are followed by discussions hosted by university faculty or other experts. The audience is invited to explore themes relating to each movie. They're even sent home with discussion materials in order to keep the talks going off campus. Alkek faculty members Liz King and Stephanie Towery curate and organize the series. Past movies that they've shown for the series include the Charlie Chaplin classic The Great Dictator, which was followed by a discussion on fascism, as well as the documentary Embrace, which included a talk about body image. They told me that the first issue they look at when selecting films for Film Talks is securing the public performance rights. But there's more to it than that.
It's not just us showing a film and talking about it. So that idea of how can we make this like research focused or research based for students to come. So if you're interested in, say, fascism or dictatorship, you could come to The Great Dictator, but then there's an expert-led discussion following it with someone who studies and researches and writes about fascism, not just us saying, we also liked this movie. So there's that element of where to take...
A recent screening held by Film Talks featured the documentary Beware the Slender Man. The film focuses on a bizarre case of attempted murder that was inspired by an internet meme. Faculty from the Texas State University Philosophy Department then led a discussion about mental illness and the power of folklore. Some of the films that the organizers are trying to procure for future events include the horror film Get Out, which deals with race, the science fiction film Children of Men, and Monogamish, a documentary about relationships.
We wanted that, as you leave, what are some things you can do to take action since we've upset you with this topic, possibly? What are some things you could do to make a difference and just like start the ripple in your life or with your friends?
The organizers are hoping that attendance will continue to grow, giving many more students the chance to experience this unique twist on going to the movies. For Studio A, I'm Blaine Turner.
Well, that's very interesting. Blaine, you actually covered this story. What was the difference like being at one of these film screenings where people are talking afterward instead of a regular movie theater where you just get up and leave?
It was an interesting experience. The audience was really engaged with the film and with the discussion. What I really like about the series is that they pick films that are not overly academic or stuffy. These are really accessible, entertaining movies, and the discussions afterward kind of help the audience see them in a different light. It's a really interesting series.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
Well, for one group of students at Texas State, the sky's the limit. In fact, not even the sky limits them. They're members of the university's aviation club, and Jesse Guevara paid them a visit.
President and founder of this year's aviation club, Nick Williams has been in the process of receiving his pilot license since this past summer. Williams spoke to his flight instructor, who used to run the club at Texas State, and got inspired to gather other students with the same goal in mind. Students interested in training meet at Skyport, which is inside the San Marcos Airport. With roughly 20 members so far, students have the opportunity to try out flight simulators, landing simulators, and take a look inside a real plane. A decline in demand of pilots led to a decrease in club attendance, but this year looks promising. The Aviation Club is back after a hiatus. New members are eager to collaborate and work together to potentially get their licenses. Officer Trey Baer says not everyone is guaranteed a license, but students can gain experience for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, we can't, pay for everyone to get a license, so it's one of the things that you as an individual are going to have to pay for. But if you're interested in doing it and you can afford to do it, yeah, we can definitely get you in the right direction.
President Nick Williams has a great team of dedicated people helping him out. He adds he is anxious to see what's in the future. Students will give presentations, study together, and listen to speakers.
We really want everybody who's interested in aviation or thinks it's a cool field at all to be able to be involved in one way or another. So we want to open it up and make sure everybody can see it as maybe a future option, or if they just want to hang out and talk planes. So we're gonna have social events, we're gonna have other events, we're gonna do stuff obviously with planes and aviation. But the idea is to make a club that we can bring as many people together.
For Studio A, I'm Jesse Guevara.
I had no idea this club existed, and let alone the fact that an airport existed in San Marcos. I had no idea.
I actually helped Jesse with this story, and while I knew that the San Marcos Airport existed, I did not know that actual things happen in it. So to see the simulations and all of the really cool things that the Aviation Club can do, it's really great for a club that's not really well known, or that you wouldn't expect to be able to be a club at Texas State. And so it's an amazing opportunity for anyone that is either interested in piloting or wants it as a profession to get their foot in the door and learn more. It's really great.
Seems like a very nice opportunity for those that are interested in aviation. But next, we'll take a look at sports. I-35 is setting for a new rivalry between Texas State and another area school. And if you ever wanted to try your hand at Quidditch, here's the place to do so.
The Bike Cave is a nonprofit organization located in room 100 of the Colorado Building on the Texas State University campus in San Marcos. The facility provides one-on-one educational instruction on bike maintenance for all levels of riders. Feel free to come in and use their large array of tools if you already have the skills. Don't have a bike but interested in riding? No problem. The Bike Cave also sells affordable used bikes and parts. So leave that car at home and ride a bike instead. And remember to please share the road.
For the past few years, Texas State has been working to raise its football profile. One way to do that is to create a rivalry with another area school. Jordan Myers reports on the I-35 showdown between the Bobcat and those Roadrunners from UTSA.
With the increase in competition for Texas State's football program after moving up to Division I football in 2012, San Marcos hosted the university's first ever I-35 showdown against UTSA. With over 31,000 in attendance, the first I-35 matchup was highly anticipated by both Bobcat and Roadrunner fan bases. Students, parents, alumni, and visitors all piled into Bobcat Stadium after the morning tailgate to catch a glimpse of the newborn rivalry. Texas State lecturer Larry Carlson, who was once the sports information director at UTSA, says the proximity of the two schools is a plus.
I think it's a good potential rivalry situation in football for both schools. There is good potential for it, and I think the students understand it and get riled up a little bit.
With the development of both Texas State and UTSA's football programs, this friendly rivalry maybe not always so friendly, could help both teams ramp up their competitiveness.
I think Texas State students and alums are eager to see if we can get back up on kind of an even, situation with the Roadrunners. You'd like to see that kind of back and forth exchange in all the sports.
At the end of the day, UTSA came out of Bobcat Stadium with the first I-35 showdown victory.
I think next year it looks like they could turn a corner. I hope the Bobcats can get a couple of wins coming up in this next month, that'd be huge.
With this being the first I-35 game, Texas State's players and fans are looking forward to next year's matchup against our new rivals down the road. For Studio A, this is Jordan Myers.
I'm honestly really excited to see where this rivalry will take both Texas State and UTSA, especially with the students, rallying behind the teams and bringing up their spirit. So I think that's really going to be exciting for the near future. Craig, have you gone to one of these games before?
I actually went to that game, so it was really exciting. The atmosphere was phenomenal, especially since it was the first game between the two schools. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that there's a future in this rivalry, and it can only benefit both teams' football programs.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a rivalry with UTSA can get pretty heated, but there's another sport at Texas State that might not take itself quite so seriously. It's right out of the pages of Harry Potter. That's right. It turns out that Texas State is a hotbed for Quidditch. Sage Holst dodged the broomsticks and brings us the report.
The United States Quidditch Association was formed in 2005, naming it an official sport. However, the Quidditch Club wasn't recognized as a university sports club until 2011. This started the two teams. First is the official Texas State team, and the second is a club team known as the Sharknadoes. The tournaments are year-round and played against other college teams and their club divisions.
It's very intense. It's a fictional game from a book, but when you get on the pitch, it's more intense than any other game I've ever played before.
Some think you have to be a fan of the Harry Potter series to play or to watch, but that's not the case. Stephen Brulinski, playing his 5th year on the team, and the current Quidditch captain, originally got involved to stay in shape.
I wasn't crazy about it like some of the people that we have playing for us, but I had read all the books and seen all the movies. I knew some people who were playing Quidditch, and it seemed like fun.
The club has been voted #1 sports club since 2014 and is currently ranked the #1 college team in the United States, beating out the 5-time champions of University of Texas. So how does Quidditch work? Many of the original rules from the books still apply. A unisex team consisting of 7 players, 3 chasers, who score using the quaffle, or volleyball, 2 beaters, who hit chasers with bludgers, or dodgeballs, 1 keeper, who acts as a goalie, and 1 seeker, who catches the golden snitch, which is played by an unbiased member wearing yellow shorts and a ball wrapped around their waist. Once the snitch is caught, the game ends.
It's a mixture of basketball, soccer, hockey, and rugby. Full contact, co-ed sport, there's a position for everybody.
With how long Quidditch has been around, players hope that the game will start distancing itself from its fictional counterpart and be known as the intense sport it is.
To get involved, you can visit the Texas State Quidditch Facebook page, where they post events and tournaments year-round. For Studio A, this is Sage Holst.
Jeez, what an intense sport.
Yeah, I had no idea you can actually just throw balls at each other. Like, I had no idea.
Well, it really is an intense sport. In fact, 5 minutes into the first game of the day, someone was really injured and they had to pause the game, take him off the field. Most people I saw there had black eyes. And some of them said, oh yeah, this one's from yesterday, or oh, I just got this one this morning. Like, it's really an all contact thing. And it's very exciting too. This was probably my third tournament that I've attended, and I was really into it, whereas even as a Harry Potter fan, my first time going to a game, I did not really know what was happening. Even I didn't quite get it. But when you kind of start to learn the rules and you get more involved, it's so much fun. And I know a lot of people that weren't fans of the books. Maybe they read one or maybe they saw a movie or two, but they love this sport. It's just, it's a really, really fun time.
Well, that's good. Well, hopefully they win this year. Well, that's our show for today. Many thanks to our reporters, Elaine Rodriguez, Blaine Turner, Sage Holtz, and Craig Hopkins. I'm Christopher Carson. Join us again on December 1st for the next edition of Studio A.